Trump triumphant as Biden's predicament deepens. Donald Trump will achieve his greatest triumph as Joe Biden faces his darkest hour. After an unprecedented criminal conviction, an assassination attempt, and a 2020 election theft attempt, the ex-president, 78, will accept the Republican nomination Thursday, completing one of the greatest political comebacks. A Democratic uprising is rocking Biden, 81. Lawmakers' fears about his health and cognitive state and despair over his chances of blocking a second Trump term have raised questions about whether he can defeat his 2020 opponent again. CNN sources reported Wednesday that former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi informed the president that polls show he can't beat Trump and could ruin Democratic House aspirations if he runs. After months of dormancy, Biden's shocking debate performance and Trump's attempted assassination sparked a White House race unseen in 50 years. If the 45th president becomes the second one-term president to win re-election in November, his recovery will be complete. Although his 2016 election win was surprising, his rebound may be even more unlikely. Trump's return to the top of the GOP ticket shows that he is becoming a historic political force who has revolutionized his party and might do the same for the nation, for better or worse, if he returns to the White House on January 20, 2025. The events affect Trump's election plan. A campaign Trump has portrayed as a contrast between strength and weakness is looking better than the Republican could have hoped less than 4 months before Election Day. Republicans laud a nominee who survived an assassin's bullet and rose, bloodied, to fight. In contrast, Biden returned home from the campaign tour Wednesday with COVID-19. Trump demanded his defeated primary opponents pledge devotion at the convention on Tuesday in front of a primetime television audience, arguably the most impressive display of political party domination in recent history. Biden is losing control of his party, battling loudly with lawmakers who claim he'll cost them the White House, Senate, and House and party leaders like California Representative Adam Schiff who say he should go. The election map shows the candidates' different fortunes. Trump leads most national polls and battleground states. While Biden is still viable, most observers feel he has a narrow path to 270 electoral votes through blue wall states Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. His campaign denies giving up elsewhere. Millions of Americans vote in the fall to decide presidential elections, not July campaign results. A convention that showcases a party he has purged of all dissenters in 8 years may have overstated Trump's momentum. Millions of Americans dislike the ex-president's personality cult, racially provocative speech, and authoritarianism. But that's one reason his campaign isn't tough on Biden to keep him in the race. Biden's campaign is under threat from lawmakers and donors who fear a GOP landslide in November. Not commentators. Delegates in Milwaukee believe the former president will return to the White House, giving the Trump GOP uncommon discipline and unity as the Democratic Party splits. After Trump survived the Pennsylvania assassination attempt, his campaign has rebranded him. It portrayed his 4 years in leadership as a picture of peace and prosperity. His team is trying to erase memories of his presidency's chaos, acrimony, and constitutional order violations, which culminated in his attempt to destroy democracy to stay in power and his supporters' mob riot at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, that led to his second impeachment. The GOP portrays a nation in danger of bankruptcy, violence, undocumented immigration, and global economic devastation. The image is subjective. High prices continue to plague Americans, but inflation is falling, crime is falling, and unemployment is approaching record lows. Trump torpedoed a bipartisan border bill to solve the immigration situation, while the economy is surpassing other industrialized nations. In possibly the most daring bait-and switch, the party led by a man who continuously genuflected before President Vladimir Putin is criticizing Biden, who revitalized NATO and fought the Kremlin's attack on Ukraine, of being weak on Russia. In his GOP convention address Wednesday night, Trump's new vice presidential contender, J.D. Vance, elevated image-making. The Ohio Republican senator made a national redemption narrative from the trauma in Pennsylvania when Trump fell, then rose up wounded but unbowed. Go and view the video of a would-be assassin coming a quarter of an inch from taking his life, Vance urged the captivated delegates. They lied about Donald Trump. Look at the daring photo of him with his fist up. All of America stood up with Donald J. Trump on that Pennsylvania field. Donald Trump is America's last chance to return what may never be.